Oireachtas is cúsáis sam leir leis an teachaniu maidir leis an leála umlán de 1.1 billion de marine muid fi car agus acam a thuirt cuid na bartha lena dhéanfar cothú fiosú agus ferbitir na harnálacha a bhfuil freagrach a gum asú. The sectors in my department are vital to the employment sector, in particular outside urban centres, and form a core part of how we identify as a nation, as a collective people living on this island and welcoming those from abroad and as individuals. Through sports, participation and fandom, through cultural expression, admiration and experience, through our native tongue, which is embedded in the fabric of our identity, and across our engagement in news and communication with media, social media and online content. As we stabilise after the shock of the pandemic and face into the challenges of the continuing war in Ukraine, other eruption conflicts and the very real dangers of climate change, we look to these sectors for means of understanding, resilience, comfort and positive connection. Participation in sport and culture fosters tolerance and empathy through shared experiences and helps to bring people together. At a time when there are so many divisive forces at play in the world, their contribution is more important than ever, and we must also appreciate the significant contribution these sectors make to employment and the economy. My departmental colleague, Minister Byrne, will address the House on specific measures around sport. Minister Donovan sends his apologies, he is unable to attend today. My address will focus on the sectors of tourism, culture, Gaeltacht and media. The Department received a total allocation of €1.17 billion in Budget 2024. The sectors overseen by my department have great impact across society, and they have shown extraordinary resilience in the face of first COVID-19 crisis and then the increase in the cost of living. It has been a priority for me to ensure that we can respond to these and other challenges in a robust and sustainable manner. Budget 2024 maintains and increases funding across a wide range of key initiatives. A once-off allocation of €57 million in current funding has been provided, along with an increased allocation of €40 million in core current expenditure. In addition, a further €4 million in capital uplift under the National Development Plan, along with just under €10 million under shared island initiatives and across culture, Gaeltacht and tourism sectors. In relation to tourism, the total overall allocation is €216 million, which allows for continued assistance to the sector, in particular those regions and businesses most affected by the downstream impacts of tourism accommodation stock displacement, impacted by our national support for people fleeing the war in Ukraine. While the sector has recovered strongly over the past year, challenges remain, and I am pleased to have retained much of the additional funding secured last year to help the sector to build to full recovery. I am also looking to the longer term in assisting the tourism sector to increase its focus on and action in relation to climate change. To this end, I will be directing €10 million of funding to focus on sustainability and, in particular, the implementation of policy measures to help tourism businesses in the worst affected regions by displacement. This funding will be directed at specific actions to support those businesses in areas such as domestic marketing with sustainability focus, digitisation and recruitment and retention. And as part of this, I have also asked Fáilte Ireland to consider the scope for a business support scheme that could help the most affected tourism activities and attractions, and to report back to me on options and recommendations within 4 weeks. I have also maintained additional funding of €10 million for overseas marketing of Ireland as a leading holiday destination. Sustaining marketing campaigns at current levels will be crucial to ensure Ireland holds a strong share of voice for longer-term success in an increasingly competitive market. In relation to arts and culture, Irish artists are reaching new heights in terms of international recognition, whether this be in the Booker Prize, long and short lists, or at the Oscars this year. This is the result of sustained investment in arts and culture in recent years, and I am pleased, therefore, that funding totalling €367.406 million has been secured for this sector for 2024. The budget provides for a record €134 million funding for the Arts Council in recognition of the transformational impact of this funding and to support the sector. It also provides an additional €1 million in increased funding for Culture Ireland to enhance the overseas promotion of Irish creative workers. Changes to the Section 481 tax relief will further enhance Ireland's attractiveness as a location for major international film and television projects, building on the remarkable success this year of Banshees of Inisherin and Colin. I have also got an allocation of an extra €1.9 million to provide additional capital support for our regional arts infrastructure. This funding will assist them to meet their building and equipment needs, including equipment for measures under the nighttime economy, and adapt their facilities to reduce their energy needs and their carbon footprint. And I will bring forward proposals in the coming months for a pilot initiative on how best to allocate these much-needed funds. This funding also allows my department to continue to support activity in relation to the Safe to Create programme, including Mind Creative Minds. The Creative Ireland programme, including the innovative creative climate action measures, support for the continued development of the nighttime economy, sustained protection and presentation of our national collections through the national cultural institutions, additional funding for Comhaltas Comhaltar Éireann, and continuation of the critical basic income for the arts scheme. Fáiltíim rih an takeíocht atá aontaithe an Rialtas don Gaeltach agus an Gaeilge i gcoitinne. Tá me sásta méadú ceathair fan géad ar bhéanú darnáil na Gaeilge agus na Gaeltachta thuairisciú, méadú thugann nó go níos mó ná €100 million an inéisteacht a bheith a dhéanamh ag mar Ryan san Arnold an bhliain se thugann, beag beanna ar an méanú breise a bheith ag dul go TG ceathair. Leis an méanú a bheith ar fáil de Arnold an fiche ceathair, curfar réisio lehan bartas I bhaim taobh sé agus taobh muid den Gaeltacht. Caithmid Cibnamh, go bhfuil méadú th cimse tagair ar budget mar Ryan don Gaeilge agus an Gaeltach ó tháinig an Rialtas seo isteach. Curú timpeall €8 million ar fáil den Arnold in budget fiche a hain, le heas an bheagnach €100 million a bheith ar fáilte an bhliain se thugann. A núsar sin tá an Rialtas seo tar éis méanú a chur fáil do TG ceathair chun an stáisiún nua de fáistí cúla ceathair a bhunú. Tá an bunsra leagadh síos a gcéin agus táthraigh dul a tógáil ar air sin I fiche ceathair. Tá an méadú go €450 million ar leicála capital omlán údarás na Gaeltachta do fiche 3 cinethe de fiche ceathair. A núsar sin tá méanú breise de €1.1 million a chur ar fáil údarás na Gaeltachta I fiche ceathair chun feidhm rialachas na heagraíochta a láidrú, curchaige atá stúma darlam agus tús a chur inis le caintne maidir le budget capital na heagraíochta den na blianta amach roin. Be takeíocht breise ar fáil de scéimeanna cuimsiú so síalta de fiche ceathair. Landfí mar Ryan ag méadún de scéime 10 Gaeltachta I fiche ceathair agus cumá leis sin curfar 500 míle breise ar fáil chun takeú le cóhairt níos leithna daoine óga ó cúlra faoi bhíomhantáiste ar bhíon leo freistal ar cursaí saoire sa Gaeltach. Be €1 million breiste ar fáil le scéimeanna takeíochta Gaeilge mar Ryan ar bhaithe le scéim nua a chur buna hacóí le múntóirí scoile agus ibrithe in Arnold an lua go sparfiaus a chur ar a gcuid scoil na teanga. A núsar sin tá €5 million in airgid capital chur ar fáil donna scéimeanna takeíocht Gaeilge chun cumasú do mar Ryan tús a chur leis an obair ar ceann ceathrú chunar na Gaeilge ag uimhir 6 sráid rachar. Bunú lína na budget nua budget €1 million in fiche 3 chun dlús a chur le chur chun feime achna deangacha ifigus úla fiche hain do ansprochanna úlbhíonacha arciaachta a leagtar amach ann a bhaintseach. Curfar allantas breise de €1 million ar fáil den obair seo I fiche ceathair le takeú le hiireachtaí mar Ryan fuarálacha an acteanga nua nadú trasna an stát córas agus chun feasachtain le a cruthú I meascan phobal. Tá teachtareacht thar a bheith dearfa go géine inis maidir leis an deisna fostíochta atá ar fáil dóibh siúd a bhfuil an Gaeilge acu agus caiimiid an teachtar sin le scapal go fuorleathan. Tá sóméid sa bhliain fiche ceathair le fuinmh aithniúte agus a fis a bheith agén gur féidir linn a bheith agsú le furbairt leanúnach na Gaeilge agus na pobal Gaeltachta. Funding for the media and broadcasting sector in 2024 will total €304.373 million. This allows for increased funding of €4.8 million to TG Ceathair, allowing for 2024 allocation of €57 million. This is a total increase of almost €20 million since 2019, and this funding will allow TG Ceathair to support the delivery of strategy. I see time is running down from my colleague, and it's recommended by the Future Media Commission and underpinned by more recent New Era analysis. Minister and I acknowledge the need to provide interim funding of €16 million to RT as required. This will be dealt with post-budget. Any further funding will be considered later in the year when we receive their strategic vision. And just say, Minister Burwell, speak on the increased funding to sport in budget 2024.